Welcome to the Backliners podcast. It's Aggro. It's BaRRa. BaRRa, you're back. We haven't done a podcast together in well over a month.
Yeah, it's been a little weird. I kind of forgot that I have a podcast to do.
Were we like, hey, it's podcast time, and you were like, oh, right, I do that.
Wait, what do you mean podcast? I'm not doing a podcast.
It's your podcast, man. It's your podcast. It's here. And people are excited about it. Well, it's our podcast. Okay.
I feel like your mic sounds different. I just noticed.
Does it? I don't know. It sounds... my levels look okay. I mean, chat can let me know. I can't change anything about it now, so...
okay.
We're just going to hope that it's working right.
Well, I was a little distracted by the arena game that I was in, but It sounds like a webcam microphone, but I could be wrong.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not.
It's fine. Whatever. We're
rolling with it. Whatever. You all can deal with it. All right. So a couple things that we have to get to, obviously. Some big news for me and for the SPL. And before we get into any of that, I want to tell you guys that BaRRaCCuDDa and I have been doing this podcast for a long time. Okay? A long time. And you know he always accuses me of being late. And that is a problem that I have in my life, I will admit. But when it comes to the podcast, very rarely am I behind, okay? BaRRa, I go, it's okay, BaRRa, you have one more minute to finish your arena. And he goes, what do you mean? It's 8:02. I look at my computer, I look at my watch, I look at my phone, they all say 7:59. BaRRa's computer is 3 minutes ahead. And he's been blaming me for being late when I'm on time this whole time! Can you believe this? BaRRa, what do you have to say for yourself?
I don't know how to change the time. I found it.
BaRRa, it is now 8:02.
Thank you. It's 8:02 for me as well, actually, now on my computer. It says 8:02.
Oh, well, there you go.
It magically fixed itself. Thank you, Microsoft.
Wow.
Shout out to Microsoft for helping me get through my struggles of, you hit a certain age and you just forget how technology works.
Yeah, true that.
And Aggro's never been late before to the podcast.
That is definitely not true. I have definitely been late at least a couple times, but not all the time, and I'd have everyone know that. That's the way it is.
Wait, real quick.
Yeah.
ADK in the chat said, if I get first blood in that arena game that I was just in, very important arena game.
Right, this arena game.
Sub. And I can't help but notice he did not sub.
You can't be throwing out the, if you do this, you get subs, and then not, that's the way it is. All right, they say they are. So we'll give them the benefit of the doubt.
You better be now. You better get that wall.
Toxic, BaRRa. You're greedy. This guy's greedy for one sub.
You were just on my side.
I was, and then I switched teams instantly. I don't know why. All right, we got a lot to talk about today. Let's start with, before we get into the play-in tournament, in case our viewers or listeners are not aware, I announced that this weekend was my final cast. I'm not leaving Smite or anything like that, but I got a job as a designer on Smite, focusing on God design, which I am very, very excited about. As far as podcast news, it does affect the podcast a little bit, and that's in the sense that I think we are going to be moving to this time slot moving forward, which is 8 p.m. on Mondays for the live stream. So it'll be one day different, just better for my new work schedule. But other than that, it won't make a big difference. We're still going to be talking Smite. I'm still going to be here every week. BaRRa's still going to be here. I probably won't be watching every single SPL game because now I've got a normal 9-to-5 job Monday through Friday, and I'm not going to dedicate myself to watching every single SPL set on the weekend, but I'm definitely going to be paying attention. I'm going to be watching as much as I can. I think it's pretty likely that we end up having more casters as guests and more players as guests to just break down the weekend and fill me in on what is going on. But that's the podcast news. So 8 p.m. Mondays is the move going forward. But otherwise, still going to be the same backliners that you know and love.
Yeah, I told my chat that as well. I was like, it might not be completely like SPL focused now. I'm sure that you'll have a lot more to talk about now. Or we'll have a lot more to talk about now that's not SPL related. Podcasting in quite some time. This tongue of mine isn't working.
Yeah, it's all right. You're getting warmed back up to podcast speed.
So yeah, I told my chat that it'd be a little different as well. Good different, of course. Good different.
Yes.
We're probably not covering obviously every SPL game.
No.
Turn my light on. Probably
not. But I think that. I obviously do not come to the show and expect a whole lot of spoilers or anything like that. Those days of Hi-Rez tossing spoilers out all over the place are gone. It's much more regimented and that kind of stuff. So I will not be spoiling anything intentionally, at least. And obviously can't talk about the things that I'm working on that are super secret. But I can tell you that I'm going to be a bigger part of the balance team. And the god design team, I'll have my own god, a god that I'll lead the design on coming out hopefully later this year, but certainly by next year. We're hoping, yeah. We think, but who knows? Still all subject to change, but I'm super excited. Over the last few years, a lot of people have asked me what I want to do long term. And I've always been like, I don't really know, man. I really just like doing what I'm doing. I don't want to do anything else. And the only thing that's ever been that has ever made me think like, yeah, I could do this instead of cast has been god design. It's just been, I've worked with that team and brainstorms and that kind of stuff in the past, and AJ and Clumsy and Lermy and Pon and the whole design team, they're just so awesome and so smart, and it's been really challenging because I look, guys, I'm pretty smart when it comes to like telling a funny joke, but you ask me to like figure something out that requires actual intelligence, I'm usually pretty hosed. So it's been a challenge. I feel like my brain is leaking out of my ears like after every work day because I'm just trying to absorb so much like technical knowledge, but in a good way. I love feelings of having to learn a lot, and that's why I'm really excited for this.
So when are you gonna revert Persephone?
Yeah, never.
Oh.
Or will I? Maybe tomorrow. Who knows? I could, but I won't. Or maybe will I? I don't know.
Yeah, what about reverting Bastet as well? I kind of agree with that. I kind of agree with Scream.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do.
Complain to you every podcast.
You can. Yes. That is an
I was
option.
already doing that.
Yeah, you kind of were. And I was forwarding all those things to the team, but now I'm on the team. So
if it doesn't get fixed, it's your fault.
Well. Here's the way I'll say things, okay? Anything that the balance team does that you like, it was probably Lermy's idea. Anything that you hate, it was probably my idea. Let's go with that general feel.
Well, I mean, there's going to be a learning curve for you, right? Before you start making good decisions.
Right. Yeah, like 3 to 4 years from now, I'm going to make really good choices. Right in time for season 13, you're going to be like, man, Aggro is hitting his stride, bro. Like, he is really starting to get it.
I, probably won't still be like a pro player by then, hopefully.
What?
Not,
you're going to retire by season 13?
I mean, that's a long ways away. That's... Sorry.
Wow,
Chad,
the spoiler didn't come from me, Chad. It came from BaRRaCCuDDa about his own career.
You said 3 or 4 years, that's a long time. We'll see what happens, Maybe I'm still grinding, maybe I'm not. We'll see.
Wow. No, he leaked, Chad. He leaked. That's unbelievable. Didn't Destiny tweet BaRRaCCuDDa's going to play SPL as long as SPL's a thing? Isn't that what she said? Are you contradicting Destiny?
I remember F. also saying like Jeff and BaRRaCCuDDa will be playing Smite together until Smite is no longer a thing. So,
well, That's
You know.
I feel like Destiny's got a little bit of better intel than FDOT did in that situation. Just a little bit more, not by much. Actually, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe FDOT knew more in that situation.
Yeah, maybe I just become a full-time podcaster. Maybe I, work at Hi-Rez. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens down.
You want to be on my team so bad, BaRRa.
Well,
so
once you
bad.
told me, I was like, yes, he can get me in. I was so excited.
BaRRa, I don't know, bro. You gotta, we'll work on it together, okay? When we're doing patch notes review, you just gotta get the phrase, I don't know, man, I'm just an ADC brain out of your head, You just gotta start making stuff up. That's what I do. You just make it up as you go,
Every skin, I just say, wow, that's really cool. That's really interesting. Wow, look at that design. Look at the colors. See, I already got it. See,
all I'm saying, BaRRa, if you want me to put a good word in for you, you had better love my first god, no matter how OP it is. You better love it.
It'll be a hunter. No, it'll be a mage, right?
I can't tell you what it's gonna be.
What do you mean you can't tell me?
What do you mean I can't
away?
Yes, I can't tell you, bro. That's a big part of what they do,
You're already working on one?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought it was...
Yeah.
Okay, I know you're
I'm going to make one, I make whatever they tell me, man. Whatever it's going to be, I'm going to make. And it's going to be fun and not unfun to play against at all. No one's going to dislike it. No one's going to get frustrated by it. No one's going to think it's underperforming, but also not OP at the same time.
It'll release with a perfect 50% win rate in all categories.
See, BaRRa? That's a classic designer mistake right there. 50% is not the point of balance for every god. Some gods feel balanced at 46%. Some gods feel balanced at 53%. 50% is not the point of balance. It's per god.
So where will yours be? What are you shooting for?
I think my god's probably going to be balanced, and you can put this in the books. I'll bet you my god is going to feel balanced at 48.6% win rate.
Aggro's god will feel balanced
at
48.6%?
48.6, yep. It's going to be a high skill cap god. That's what that win rate should tell you.
That's a little high for a high skill cap god.
No, when you're talking,
even know the numbers.
When you're talking about hundreds of thousands of matches, 48%. The difference between like 48 and 49 and 50% is really vast. That's the.
Just so you know, I did put that literally in the books, so
perfect.
It will be remembered.
Perfect. Well, then now we'll know. Now we will know.
On to the qualifiers.
Yes. We got some new SPL teams, Barry. Well, we got one new SPL team. team.
Okay, I almost thought we were not going to have one old SPL team in the beginning of the games.
Bro, it was not looking great for the homies for a little bit there. Their set against Fun Havers, I thought they really might...
lost.
I know, they lost a game. And it was, convincing.
I think game 2, if Fun Havers didn't do that Gold Fury, or if they played the Gold Fury better, they would have 2-0'd Oni, and I don't think Oni would have made a loser's bracket, losing 2-0 to, not like a random team, but, a team that you think you should be beating.
Well, yeah, I mean, that team, no one expected a lot from the Fun Havers coming in. We went over the rosters on this podcast, your podcast that you just weren't a part of that day, and that's fine. We were all okay with that. And we were not expecting this level of play from this squad. Let's okay, were you gonna say something?
I was gonna ask what matches do you want to go over? Do you want to go over all of them? Do you
I don't think I want to go over all of them. I kind of want to go. Here's what I was thinking, and you can tell me. You can tell, by the way, chat, that we do a lot of prep work for this. You just so much. Do you want to? I can't believe I have time for a full-time job with how much work we put into this. Do you want to go by matches, or do you? I was kind of thinking maybe going around the teams and talking about how they played and if any players in particular impressed us during that time.
I'm down.
Okay. A couple of the teams that got eliminated early, we're looking at teams like Reverse Card. We didn't get a chance to see a whole lot out of them. I thought Vi, their mid laner, actually played pretty well in their games. I was fairly impressed with him. But, Thunderhead, same sort of thing. Didn't get a chance to see a whole lot of them. Anyone from those two teams stand out to you?
Can you list the players on those teams?
You know what? Why don't I just do this for you, Barry? Here's what I'm doing. This isn't perfectly accurate because there were some last-minute changes. Vi is Globe. Yeah.
Globe's sick.
But, hold on. Okay, there we go.
Wait, why do you name change?
I don't know. Impossible to say.
I found it. Okay.
Did you find it because I put it in the chat, or...?
No, I found it because I just looked over and found it.
Okay. Great work by you.
But,
Thunderhead or Reverse Card, anyone else kind of stand out?
I think Mark played relatively good. And I want to say Chekio had, moments of brilliance. I don't know about the rest of them. I don't remember them, honestly.
Sure. It was a long week.
I think Chekio and Mark played pretty good. The Reverse Card... yeah. I remember Vi playing well, and I think... Yeah, it was just the mid laners, I guess, for both teams. I think it was only Vi for Reverse Card that was really standing out to me as well.
Yeah, agreed. Samsara, I thought Jengaru had some really good moments. I was pretty high on Jengaru coming into the tournament. I think he's a good player. I thought Privative played really well. I was impressed with Privative's level of play. And Shinigami, again, a player that I was pretty high on coming in to this event. I thought Shinigami played pretty well as well.
I kind of thought their whole team played really well individually. I remember literally all of them having really good moments, but I think that they fell apart kind of consistently. It was their macro game on top of objectives, where they would try to just force random fights a little bit too much.
Yeah.
But their individual skill was carrying them through a lot of bad macro and bad just objective play overall. I think Shinigami is a disgustingly good mechanical ADC, but a little... He's got the blinders on a little bit too much.
Yeah.
I'm just focusing, trying to kill a person instead of doing the correct play.
Yep.
Which I think is fine, but I think it's just these ranked habits that you have to iron out over time.
Yep.
I hope that team sticks together because I do think that they have a strong future. I don't know if they've already broken up or whatever, roster apocalypse afterwards.
Sure.
But I really like that team. I think they played really well together.
Yeah, I think that team could be a really good SEC team. For sure. Shinigami kept, someone mentioned his Uller build. I didn't like a single Uller I saw. Yeah, I mean, that Uller build, whatever. He's a dual player. Dual building is different. It's a different mentality. I think it can work. But Uller did not impress me all week. I don't think I saw a single good Uller game.
Yeah, I don't think he's the best meta character. It's why play Uller when you can play Izanami, Medusa, and have the same pressure in lane?
Right.
With just easier kits, plus you just get to kill camps faster than Uller does.
Right.
Uller doesn't have that spike anymore, the level 4 spike, where you can just insta-give someone in lane.
Right.
And I think he kind of needs his items, but then again, it was dominance into Atalanta's bow. I didn't know where it was going the whole time, but I mean, I have a lot of respect for Shinigami as a player, so also I don't play Uller that much, so if he knows something I don't know, I don't know, but...
Other SPL teams, write that down. Bear doesn't play Uller. If you didn't know it after 9 years, that's kind of on you, but yeah, there you go. You're just leaking left and right, Barry.
Sorry, guys. I'm new to the podcast. So
yeah, you're just a little rusty.
Taking the dust off.
I get it. All right, nobody's favorite. This was Malachi, Shlemmy, Elion, Dashboard, and Zen. A lot of talk about Shlemmy coming in. I thought a lot of the junglers underperformed in this event. I think that this meta isn't necessarily hostile towards junglers, but I do think that it is easy. Mid lane is an easier role to understand how to execute in an event like this. And I think that's why a lot of the mids ended up looking really good, and a lot of the junglers seem to struggle. I thought Elion did play really well overall. I thought Dashwood played okay, but I thought that his god pool was noticeably small. And I thought that Zen had a pretty good event. I thought Zen played okay, but this team, they just looked pretty scattered and pretty inexperienced to me. Would be my read on that squad.
It seemed that the games that they were winning was through the enemy's misplays and mistakes, like say like the Sylvanas game that they played.
Yeah.
Where El Leon got like 3 good blink ults off of the enemy's misplays. Like there was one time at the red buff where the Emoji ult didn't catch Dashboard, who was Sobek ulting away, and they missed like 4 buttons on Dashboard, and then Leon gets a giant ult because they missed everything.
Yeah.
And if Dashboard dies and Leon loses or like doesn't get that initiation, and also I think that they need to give Leon something where he can hyper carry on. Like I hated the E set.
Yeah.
For example, that just didn't seem his style. Like, I get the E set for, like, we're going to go to this objective, and we're going to burn it, and then we're going to get out, or try to fight afterwards, whatever, but it just looked awful on paper. And also, I think they need to split up their shot calling a little bit. This is all off of, like, what I've heard, but if Leon's really carrying that much weight, it starts to impact your individual performance, and I think El Leon looked really hot and really cold.
Yep. Whenever he got behind, it was just game over.
I
every
agree.
single time. Yeah, I mean, he tweeted about it after the event. Andy, he's just a mid is not the role for him, not because he can't play it, but because of what he can do for a team in shot calling and leadership is really hard to find, and that skill set is so much better in jungle or support. And so he should just play jungle or support. Even if he's a really good mid laner, which I think he could be, you just can't replace what he brings to you in those roles. And he said that he's looking to play SEC as a jungler or a support player. I know I'm a little bit biased, but I'm still really high on him as a player. I really think that
same.
With the right, I think that he is mechanically talented enough to make it into the SPL. He needs to find the right group with him. But I'm high on him as a player, and I think that he could do a lot this season for sure. In the right environment, I think he could really succeed.
Yeah, I completely agree. I have a lot of faith in El Leon to have his, I guess, like, re-breakout performance, because I think he's been hunting for that performance for quite some time. And I do agree that jungle and support fit his role better. But I do think that team on paper should look pretty good, but I think Malachi was kind of getting solo dipped occasionally, or just like losing lane, and Schlemmy was kind of hit or miss as well, but I don't know how much of that was... that team, it was a really weird team to watch, I think.
Yeah, I thought solo lane, like, for as good as mid laners looked, I thought solo lane looked really weak. Not the role, but the players. I think if I were trying to make it into the SCC, like if I was just starting to get interested in competitive, or, you know, I was coming up, whatever it was, and I watched this tournament, I would, and I'm not, and I don't think that I'm one of the best players in my role right now, I think I would role swap to solo. Because there just is not a lot of depth at that position, in my opinion, in NA or in EU. And I would be very interested in swapping to that role and trying to rise up that way.
I just think there's such a big difference in solo laners on the SPL level, even like the top tier SPL solos, and then the mid tier SPL solos, and then everyone else. I think there's like an enormous gap between them. Like you can really see it in the games as well. I mean, I don't remember whose game it was, but there's one person I just kept like I was watching the games I think Friday, Saturday, and Sunday on my stream, and I was just confused as to why they weren't leaving lane for like 15 minutes. I'm just like, you have to influence the rest of the map. You have a lead, like please leave solo lane. I get that you have a lead,
Yep.
but like the rest of your team needs help. Like you have to influence the map. That's your strongest point.
Yep.
And I don't remember who that was, but yeah, I was getting a little frustrated. But
Yeah.
I do agree with you as well.
I thought it was. We'll talk about the top teams in particular a lot later on, but I thought it was Nika and Aqua were in a tier so far above every other solo laner they played against this weekend, and I did not think it was close. Ducky had a few good games, but I don't think Ducky took over a game like Nika or Aqua did. Aqua had an insane week, bro. Like,
oh yeah,
he was going absolutely insane every single game. I don't think he had a single bad game the entire tournament. That dude's just a beast, and that was, I think, a huge difference for Winter Dogs, for sure. All right, let's move on to just F6. This was Lystemix, Mashkill, Isodos, Rotwen, Toddy, GR. I was just speaking about how I don't think junglers played that well as a whole. Mashkill is certainly an exception to that. Actually, almost every team from here on out, I thought their junglers played pretty well.
Yeah, I agree.
But Mashkill was certainly the standout on this just F6 team. And that's what this tournament is all about. Like, I think that, we talked about it last week and leading up to it, but this is a really great opportunity for these players to make a name for themselves right now, and then they're going to have a spotlight coming in to the SCC season. But Mashkill's a player who we've seen for a while, has been okay, nothing special, but he comes to a big tournament, has a lot of pressure, plays really, really well, and now when the best EU teams are in the SEC are looking for a jungler, his name is going to come up. And then if he's on the best team in his region and an SPL team needs a jungler, his name should be coming up after he gets that next level of experience. So, I think that Mashkill and Rotwen were the two that stood out to me on this team. But in general, this team is stuck together. I anticipate they will continue to stick together because they seemed very tight-knit. And I was impressed with just F6. They played better than I thought they would, for sure.
I actually have a different take on this team. I think Lystemix really impressed me.
Yeah, I thought he was solid.
Every time I saw him like playing against the other solo laners, he was tied and like holding his own, and his team fighting was really good as well. I think their duo lane was a bit feast or famine.
Yes.
Which, I mean, okay, not calling out their duo lane in particular, but it was like 90% of the duo lanes in this tournament.
Yep. They gunned it.
Feast or famine, which is also just the meta, but it was also so many, like, lazy... And I don't even know if it's lazy deaths, but, like, disrespectful deaths of just...
Yep.
But also, to that same degree, so many SPL duo lanes have died in the same way, like level 1 or level 2, and just like, okay, like, the game's over now. But I do think in this meta in particular, with how strong the Obelisk is, if your duo lane gets behind, you lose all red and purples, you lose the Obelisk, and then you're like 3k down at 7 minutes.
Yep.
And off of this meta, I think you just have to like go into every duo lane. If you don't win the level 1, don't fight for the level 1.
Dude, did you hear me losing my mind about that? Like, in the finals, I was like, what do you give up by just letting them shove this wave to you? Like, nothing.
Oh, that was Snoopy, right?
Yes, like, why did they just let them, like, why did they just let them push it in? Like, you don't lose anything that you wouldn't have lost anyways. I don't know, man. I was legit tilted at that. It just completely boggled my mind. But, Bear, I did actually notice something that I think was contributing to some of the duo lane snowball, and that's that one duo lane was paying way less for their monthly cell phone bill because they were using Mint Mobile. If saving more and spending less is one of your top goals for 2022, why are you still paying insane amounts of money every month for wireless? Switching to Mint Mobile is the easiest way to save this year. As the first company to sell premium wireless service online only, Mint Mobile lets you maximize your savings with plans starting at just $15 a month. Barry, you used to int in the duo lane early on, and then you and Destiny switched to Mint Mobile.
It didn't help my duo lane, but it did help my bank account.
Well, you take what you can get at that point, right? Beggars can't be choosers. I think Mint is still working on the fix your duo lane mechanics technology.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't started scrimming yet, but I'll let you know if it helps me in Season 9 as well.
Perfect. But you know that you're going to be getting quality service in either way, right, Barry?
Yeah. Quality service, very cheap service, but good service.
Yes.
Cheap does not mean bad.
That's right. In this case, cheap means good. For people looking for extra savings this year, Mint Mobile offers premium wireless service for just $15 a month. By going online only and eliminating traditional costs of retail, I just scrolled on my copy, they do something. It's good. Oh yeah, they pass significant savings on to you. Of course, I remember that part. All plans come with unlimited text and high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. And you get to keep your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan, along with keeping your same phone number and all of your existing contacts. With Mint Mobile, choose the amount of monthly data that's right for you and stop paying for the data that you never use. Switch to Mint Mobile and get premium wireless service starting at just $15 a month. So, to get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped straight to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/back. That's mintmobile.com/back. BACK. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/back. It's good to be back, Barry, isn't it? Yep.
Yeah, it's good to be back, and it literally takes 5 minutes to swap over. Like, it's so easy.
Just do it. In the chat, we actually just got a word for this week. If you're trying to get on these savings right freaking now, it's mintmobile.com/backliners. But going forward, it will be mintmobile.com/back. So right now, it is February 21st. It's my dog's 6th birthday, by the way. Happy birthday, Mackenzie.
I like that tweet. Happy birthday.
Yeah, it was a good tweet by my wife. If you're listening to this like March 1st, first of all, I hope the future is good. Secondly, it's mintmobile.com/back. You didn't like me wishing that the future was good? That's where I lost you, Barry, really?
Well, the future is not... I don't know. The future sounded like it was going to be so much further away than just March 1st, and my brain thought about that. I'm like, wait, that still counts as the future. So
that is the future.
It's like all these numbers and math equations start popping.
The Zach Galifianakis gift. Yeah. Well, hopefully the future is like good and stuff. And also it's mintmobile.com/back. But if you're only right now or for this week... I don't know when the cutoff is. Mintmobile.com/backliners. Pull them both up. Why am I worried about what you're doing, chat? You're going to be fine. You guys are all smart. You're here listening to the podcast.
They're in the future already. They're smart.
True. They know what's going on. Right 100%. All right. Next team up is the Neighborhood. Delny, Dame. Teep was supposed to be their mid laner. He was not. It was Jumpa, Vonson support, and Mineral ADC. This team obviously got a little messed up because of this last minute swap. Dame played mid one set, then swapped the jungle. For me,
they started kicking teams out of the tournament.
Yeah, then they started going off, dude. This team again, by far the best team on Twitter. Not close. There is no contest if you ask me. But I thought Dame looked like their strongest player across the tournament pretty easily.
Oh, by far for me as well. I think Vonson and Mineral had the same kind of issues that other duo lanes had this tournament, unfortunately.
Yep.
Also, I just hate the Ares pick. Dude, they could have 5 no CC mean ultimates, and I still don't want you to lock in Ares. Well,
that's because you don't want to play against it, Barry. That's why.
Well, it's just okay. Those years are behind me. That's past BaRRaCCuDDa. This is future.
Oh, future Barry doesn't care about it. Yeah.
Yeah, that god's dead. Don't pick him anymore.
Yep.
But then Jumpa, I think, was really good on the Zeus, and then they started banning Zeus, and then that's just unlucky. I think Downey had a relatively good performance. I think some games, I don't think he did too much, but overall, relatively good. I mean, that's just most roles. Like, some games, if you're just losing, you can't do much.
Yep.
But I think overall, this team looked pretty good. You could tell they had some issues here and there. Not, like, between them or anything, but just, like, I think it was just their macro game looked a little weaker than everyone else's, but I mean, if they're playing with I don't know if it's a sub or just a last-minute call-in or what the Jumpa situation was, they made it look pretty good throughout the tournament. I was pretty impressed with them.
I agree. All right, that brings us to the top 4. Funhavers, Uzi, Magic Feet, Joshy Mid, Ocean Support, and Tuba ADC. This was also supposed to be a different roster, but Kiki did not play with them. It was Joshy and Mid, and boy, did that end up working out for Funhavers. Joshy was popping, bro. He was popping off.
Okay, for me, Joshy was the second best mid laner at this tourney, behind Benny.
Yeah, no, I think you're probably right. Yeah, I think you are right.
I think Benny played extremely well, and then Joshy on the Thoth and Persephone, especially, he diffed. He diffed everyone.
Yep.
Like, my man was hitting everything, and I kept thinking, I was like, okay, the enemy team has to see that they're like, he's just like pogging, right? They're gonna dive in this team fight. Nope.
No.
It was Tuba. Tuba's getting dove. It's like, okay, next time they're gonna dive. Nope. Still Tuba, and I'm like, this Thoth is free casting, hitting everything. Like that fight above fire, he ults through 3 people, dashes in, kills a third, and then I think he barely survives like an Izanami or something. I think it was Mineral.
Yeah.
He barely survived, but that whole team played so good.
Yep.
Every single one of them played so good, and I think, again, it wasn't like, I don't want to call it like cheese strats, but like the level 1s that they were doing were really good.
Yeah, I agree.
All of their early games, their first like 15 minutes, in my opinion, were really good. And then after that, I think they started to struggle against the better teams.
Yep.
Unfortunately. But I think that Magic Feet played extremely well. Uzi.
He was sick.
Oceans as well.
Oceans surprised me.
So well.
Yeah, Oceans played really well, I thought. Yep. I thought Oceans played better than I expected. Joshy, you know, if you listen to last week's podcast, you know I was pretty high on him. I think that, as I said on Twitter, towards the back end of his last SPL stint, I thought he was playing really good Smite and thought he was deserving of another SPL spot, potentially. Mm-hmm. I think he really proved that with how well he played this week. He was really sick. Uzi, again, a former teammate of mine. Love that guy. This has always been Uzi's deal. He's always had a slightly weaker laning phase. His laning phase has always needed a little bit of work. But that guy is one of the most natural team fighters I've ever seen in my life. Like, he just hard carries team fights all the time. And he always has. And if he can figure out how to get his laning phase to SPL level, he's going to be really good. Like, he is, you know, you look at who didn't make it out of the solo laners. I think that Uzi deserves to be at the top of NA solo laners who didn't make it to SPL. In a way that's actually really good to have a clear weakness and then still be close. I think is almost an advantage to like being like, yeah, they're really good, but they just got to get generally better. I think having something to focus on is an advantage in a situation like this, personally.
Agreed. Also, is Kiki's going to stay on that team, or are they just going to do Joshy mid?
I don't know.
ADC?
I assume I wouldn't. They'd be crazy to take Joshy out of mid, bro. I don't care what I don't. You know, unless Yaman decides he wants to play. I'm keeping Joshy in mid. My man's was going crazy.
Is that Kiki So Cheeky?
It is. It is Kiki So Cheeky.
This guy could stop changing his name.
No, that's part of the brand. Kiki's the one person that name changing makes sense to me. Like, because it is literally part of his brand. But he always keeps the Kiki at least. So you know it's him. You know,
True.
There he is.
Yeah, I think this team, like we talked about earlier, I think they could be Oni. If they just cleaned up that one gold free fight, I think that they literally kick Oni out of the tournament because I don't think Onis would have had a loser bracket run. But for a team, again, like the neighborhood that wasn't even playing with their original roster,
yeah,
I think they did really good. Like I think they did a great job.
They messed around and played on Sunday, bro. That is crazy. Like this team was really good. They were fun to watch as well. All right, Duck Club was the third seed. Ducky, Luconium, Moswell, Hurry, Snoopy. This team was tough to get a read on, man, because I thought at times the best individual plays of the weekend in their roles were Hurry and Snoopy. I thought that those two at their peak looked like the best in their roles at the tournament. And then Winter Dogs, that team is just their kryptonite, man. They do not play well against that team. And I thought Winter Dogs really turned up, obviously, and Duck Club just did not step up a whole lot. I thought Moswell was pretty good come team fight time, but, they weren't playing around his lane at all, and some of that's on, the overall team. I thought some of that was the types of gods he was playing. But I expected Moswell to do a little bit more. I don't think he had a horrible week by any means, but, when you've got a ring, the expectations are higher. I
think the same from Luke, honestly. Luke,
yeah.
Okay, I know a lot of people talked about, but I expected way more from Luke. I think Luke had his best day on Sunday.
Yeah.
And I think outside of that, it was kind of lackluster, which obviously is a good time to have your best game, but I think all of his teammates didn't have their best game on Sunday. So it's kind of unlucky timing, but yeah, I feel the same about Moz. Again, like I said, I haven't scrimmed yet, but I didn't understand the Hell mid with like the Celestial Voidstone, and then just like they completely ignored the Hell.
Yeah.
Like his own team, they weren't playing with it at all, which I think Hell's like strongest point is like her first item, then he just starts one-shotting everyone on the map.
Right.
And he was like 0 player damage, and on my stream I was like, yeah, it's fine, like, but I just think that you gotta be making an impact with the Hell early game. Like, it's okay to free farm, but you still have to be making an impact. I don't know if that's like his team's comms, like they weren't calling him to rotate, or if he's just not rotating and doing like a Shinto, like full farming everything, but there's a reason it works for Shinto, he's got Pantom. But yeah, I think this team looked really good when they look good and really bad when they look bad.
Yep.
Like, they were either like a 10 or a 1 for me, honestly. Like, Snoopy had his Hui plays, and then he died in lane several times early game.
Yep.
And for a veteran player, I think you can't be making those kind of mistakes.
Yep.
When the time comes. But, like, that Hui game set so many plays and set so much momentum towards him. And then he kind of kept playing with that same, like, very aggressive style the rest of the tournament and kept trying to go for those ricochets. And I'm like, please, don't. Just, like...
Yeah, just play slow, I think that it looked clear to me that Snoopy felt like he had to do it all.
That's fair. That's a good point.
And I think that really worked against them, for sure. I think my takeaways... I'm kind of unleashed now that I'm not casting, by the way. I thought about it. I can't be toxic, obviously, but I think I get to be a little more free with although I was always very free on this podcast.
Same.
Look, here's my viewpoint, okay? Specifically about the right side of the map for Duck Club. I think this week proved
which side? The right side.
The solo lane side. The jungle. Yeah, it's always from order side, That's the way you do it.
Sorry.
Yeah. So, here's the way I view it. What I learned this week about the right side of the map of Duck Club is that Luconium isn't ready yet. I don't think that he's a bad player. This week just told me he's not ready for SPL yet. And that is okay. It's a dude who hasn't played that much competitive. He's got potential, but I do not think he will be ready this year. He is far away from being ready, but it does not mean he's bad.
Completely agreed.
As for Ducky, this is a guy who's been on a lot of bottom teams over these last few years, and everyone keeps saying, man, if only if Ducky had a better team. You know, Ducky's getting costed. Ducky's getting costed every year. And to me, I think he needed to come in and he needed to dominate this tournament. Not against Nika and Aqua, guys who are, we know, SPL level. But Ducky needed to come in and absolutely gap Uzi, Delny, Listemix, Malachi, Snatty, Wengu, Slash. And he had good games. I don't think he inted. But I don't think he clear diffed a single one of those players. And so, you know, when we're talking about, yes, look, Ducky is a person, awesome, love him, think that he's so much fun to be around, love the guy. But when you've been bottom of the SPL these last few years, and then this is your opportunity to show I am so much better than these other players, like Aqua and Nika did, and then you don't, I think that tells the whole story for me. Like, that's just kind of where I'm at.
I agree with your point, but to do a soft counterpoint, I think that he has kind of a similar playstyle as Uzi, where he likes the picks that aren't the best, I guess, like, laning phase characters, or he doesn't really play the best in lane. I think he's a good team fighter, but I do agree. I think in this style of tournament, I think you have to, I guess, like, take a Snoopy lesson, I guess, and just play for yourself and play like it's ranked. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm here to beat this guy in lane and to rotate out and help the rest of my team. Like, this is my job as a solo laner. And I think he was doing that really good on the Athena games. But I think he had the same thing as other solos where he shows up really good sometimes, and other games he's not really there. Which I think also he could have been getting diffed by Luke as well. Because, like I said, I think Luke,
that's definitely a factor.
Luke didn't have his greatest tournament.
But the meta wasn't playing the solo side at all, BaRRA. That's the other thing, is that, like,
that's a good point.
Aqua didn't get any help all tournament because the meta was all dumping everything in duo, and Aqua was up 2 levels on everyone, including Nika, every game.
Yeah, that's a good counterpoint to my point. And I think he just had to play better in lane. I remember one time in particular, I had to go back and watch because I was like, I think it was Sunday. I was like, how did Ducky get so far behind her? How did Aqua just solo invade? And it was because Ducky 1-2'd the wave as Chalk, and then Aqua cleared the wave as Bologna 2, and then just beat Ducky down on the way back to his tower, and then went and stole blue 1v2, and I'm like, okay, like, that can't be happening. Like,
yeah.
I'm a big Aqua fan. Don't get me wrong, I'm always cheering for Aqua. But for Ducky's sake, I think you have to be contesting those 1v1s in a tournament like this.
Yep.
And I think you cannot be losing your lane as well in a tournament like this. I don't know. Like, Aqua, like you said, I think Aqua honestly was the best solo this tournament. I think he played really well.
He was nuts.
I hated Nika on the Bastet, bro. He got a pinnacle. Cool.
Kind of pinnacle on Barry, I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's fine. It was the easiest penta ever. Don't get me wrong.
You calling it a Mickey Penta?
Okay, watch it back, bro.
It was a Mickey Pentakill?
It was a cool pinna to happen in the moment, but I was literally trash talking the Bastet solo the entire time on my stream because I'm just like, I don't think he was piloting it that well the first few games. I think he was like getting diffed in lane by like an Odin, and he was missing like a few point blank Bastet ults, which I don't think he should be missing either.
Sure.
And I think as the tournament went on, I think the Bastet solo got better, but I hated it in the beginning.
Yep.
And yeah, well, I guess it's time to talk about winter dogs.
Let's talk about winter dogs. Aqua, Kirmi, BaRRaCCuDDa, Gamma, Wowie, your new Valhalla Valkyries. This team was the clear best or second best tournament or team in the tournament at any given point. We talked a lot on the podcast last week about how we talked a lot about dual lane and how that was going to be the meta or what we expected. That turned out to be true. That's why you should listen to the podcast. And we said that this team versus Duck Club would come down to which duo lane played better. And I think it did. Winter Dogs duo lane just outplayed Duck Club's duo lane. Gamma in particular went absolutely crazy, dude. He had such a good day on Sunday, but he was good basically all tournament. BaRRaCCuDDa had like a raw game that mid laners only dream about.
That's the Boosh game, bro.
Yeah, that is the Boosh game. That really is. You want to know how I know? You want to know how I know that Raw game was insane? This is really only a story for you and me. I was talking to our mutual friend, Andinster. People might know.
Yeah.
And I said, Andy, Benny was kind of looking like you out there on the Raw, because Andy's always talking about how he has the best Raw of all time. And he does have an argument to it, for the record. And Andinster went, nah, bro, I wouldn't have done that. He was popping. And when young man Andrew Woodward is saying he wouldn't have done it, you know you did something special. Okay? You know you did something special. And Benny was special this tournament. There's no doubt about it. This team's just sick, man. They're good.
Yeah, I think up and down this team played extremely well. Like, all points of the game. I also think if Winter Dogs played Oni earlier in the tournament, they would have beat them.
Yeah. Oni came out really cold.
Long time to warm up, and Winter Dogs played hot from like day one.
Yep.
I think with a bit of SPL experience on the rookies, well, I guess like, I don't know if they're rookies, like Gamma, Benny, and Kirmi for like SPL.
Yep.
But I think getting a bit of SPL experience for them in scrims, like, I think they'll be a very, very, very good team. I think Wowie played really well. He was pressuring ADC, or pressuring solo, or 1v1s. That's the way to say it.
Yeah.
He's pressuring 1v1s in lane the whole time. I think Gamma played extremely well. Very impressed with Gamma. Honestly, dude, I was very impressed with their whole team. Like, I don't want to say the same thing over and over.
No, they were just sick across the board. They were just sick across the board.
All of them played really well, and I'm very excited to see what they do in the future, because I think also players like Benny are very healthy for the SPL scene.
Agreed.
Going to be very annoying to play against, but he's not in my lane.
Yeah.
Thumbs up there, but I'm very excited to play against them. I'm very happy that Wowie and Aqua, especially Aqua, is back in the SPL. I think Aqua should have never been out of the SPL with how good he is. I think he kind of got costed by the Season 6 SSG curse.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that he's back. He definitely deserved to be. And I think, honestly, watching their whole team play, I think they all deserve to be in SPL. So
agreed.
I think both teams deserve to be in SPL, and I'm very excited.
Agreed. All right, Oni homies. Not a whole lot to say here. They didn't play as well as I thought they should have. All right, here's my hot take. Again, I'm kind of unleashed, Bear. I'm allowed to say what I want now, without I don't know what fear I would have had before, but I'm gonna say what I need to say. All right. This Oni homies team we had high expectations for them last year. Then Ping happened, and I get that was a huge deal for them. I think them staying together. You weren't here last week. I was saying that I think this many teams staying together is a mistake in general. But I think them staying together is defensible. I understand their thought process, and I think it can work. But I think this leash needs to be very short. Because if you spent all year last year, bottom of the league, you have the performance you had at Worlds when you're all here. You had the performance you had at this tournament when you're all here. And then let's say they come in and they're 7th or 8th place in Spring Split. If you aren't blowing it up then, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
That's and I don't think there's an easy this player's been playing horribly. I think they've all had moments where they've looked good. They've all had moments where they looked really bad. The leash needs to be short for the Oni Warriors, because otherwise, if their goal isn't to win Worlds and they just want to mess around and have fun with their boys, then I understand what we're doing here. But if the goal is to win Worlds, if they haven't shown significant improvement in Spring Split, I think a change has to be made.
Mm-hmm. Which is really funny, because you look at this team on paper and you're like,
gotta be
really
sick.
Disgustingly good player, really good player, really disgustingly good player. Like, literally all the way down, you're like, Neil is just a facilitator for Dart as a vote, and then Cubo, like, obviously very, very good 1v1s, very good team fight. Then Nika was the only shining star of last year.
Yep.
So I think Nika needs a lot less weight on him. And I think this meta is not going to be great for them if Obelisk stays this important. Unless Nika's going to be TPing over at like 5 minutes, you know?
Yep.
I think their picks and bans need a lot of work. I think Chuckles needs to do more work than any other coach has ever done before. Because this team, on paper,
should be good.
Could be number one.
Yep.
Like, they could be number one easily if all of them were firing at the same time. They would be number one. Disgustingly good team on paper, but for some reason, it's not coming together. Like, this is a team that should not be struggling against, like, SCC. They should not be struggling against teams that they play in this
Bro, this roster shouldn't lose to Uzi, Magic Feet, Joshy, Oceans, Tuba. I'm sorry, they played well. Funavers played really well, and those are good players. Oni Homie should not lose to that team. I don't care if Uzi's there for the first 5 minutes of the game and Quadra kills them in duo. This team's just better, bro. They're better. Or they should be better.
I think Dardes also needs to step up a lot.
Yeah?
I think he has been relatively weak for a while now. And I think he really needs to start impacting for this team. Because I think his God pool... I mean, okay... I don't know their comms, but I hate... Okay, if you're locking in 4 Fizz, and then your 5th character is Afro...
Yeah, I hate that draft.
I don't see a way that you're winning. I don't.
Yep.
I don't. I don't know what Afro does that Dardes knows that I don't know.
Yep.
But I can't see a world where you're winning that draft over just a mage that just poops out damage. Just pick a mage that poops out damage. They all poop out damage now.
Yeah, bro, just pick something
double flat pen.
Double flat pen, that's all you need. Yeah, look, I mean, I love all these guys. I think they're all really good. But if the goal is to win Worlds, that's just the way I see it. You know, it's just the leash has got to be short for the Oni Warriors, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, then he had the Hera game too. Good lord.
Yeah, that was a really rough game, for sure.
I mean, okay, I get that they have Fender and Circuit and your Hera, but you also didn't he 10th pick Hera?
Yep, he sure did.
Okay, that's another thing. If you're 10th picking your mage this many times, it's got to be good. You see I don't know.
Yep, I'm with you. I'm excited to see what they can do.
Talks were about Dardes, and I just think Nika also needs to not play the assassins because I think his team needs him to be a zone maker or like
space creator.
Space creator, yeah. I just like the Achilles style of Nika more than the assassin style.
Sure.
I think the assassin style is harder to pull off. Not that he can't do it. At all. Not that he can't do it. I just think his team performs better when he's on a space maker and kind of put Kubo in that role of jungler. But then again, having Scrimnos meta, maybe Bastet full offense solos OP. Yeah, and I'm glad that they made it out because it would have been really embarrassing for them if they didn't. But I think that should have If they haven't had a wake-up call yet, that should be their wake-up call.
Agreed.
This tournament.
Yeah, it shouldn't be, they said it in their post-game interview, they said it on Twitter, like, just feeling of relief. That makes sense to me, but it shouldn't be, thank God that's over. We're going to own now. Like, no, thank God we're still in. We better get to work. Should be the mentality there for that team, if you ask me.
Like, if they stay the same... Like, if they don't grow a lot in the next month, I expect Winter Dogs to pass them.
Yep.
In the next month.
Yep, agreed. All right, that does it for this week's episode. Of course, we got our random question of the week, which I totally thought about before right now, and I'm totally not buying time.
Hazer had a question that I already answered. Wait, chat, help me out. He asked it
chat,
to me
help.
on stream. Chat. Oh, what was it? He already answered it, so it'll just be an answer for you.
Okay. Well, you would have to give your answer again for all of our podcast listeners.
Yeah, but I'll try to remember. Oh, come on, chat.
Trivia. They're saying trivia?
Oh, yeah, the pub trivia.
Okay.
So, out of all teams in the SPL, which 5 players are you picking for pub trivia?
Ooh, does it have to be one of each role?
No. But I did, one from each team. Or, I didn't, double dip in any teams.
Okay. Pub trivia. Let me think. Am I allowed to pick a coach?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Boy, this one's tough. Give me your 5 because you already thought about this and answered it.
Okay.
Yeah, give me your 5.
I want to say it was Scream.
Okay? You have the what? You led with Scream?
Oh no, I didn't leave with Scream. Okay, I kind of forgot. Hold on.
What?
Hold on. I can't be thrown under the bus like this. Okay, I think it was.
And we're
Sam.
going current SPL players only. You picked Sam?
Yeah, current. Yeah, I picked Sam.
Okay.
Because Sam seems, he seems to know some things. And then I think I picked Aurora.
Okay.
I'm going through the teams. I don't think I picked anyone on. Actually, maybe I didn't pick Scream.
I wouldn't be
pick
picking
anyone
Scream personally. Shoutouts to Lucas, but I'm not picking him. I'm sorry.
Wait, actually, I might have trolled. Maybe I picked Sam and Fine.
Sam and
I think
Fine.
I picked Genetics.
Okay, Genetics is a solid pick.
I think I picked Yark as like my YOLO pick.
YOLO.
I don't really
pick,
know anything about Leviathans for like trivia stuff, like knowledge-wise, but I know everyone on my team is stupid.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure everyone on Scarabs is stupid too.
Yep.
So, wait, is that 5?
I don't know. Your answer. I can't believe that's
Hazer,
the team you drafted.
Hazer picked Scream. Sorry, Hazer picked Scream.
That's unbelievable.
Okay.
That's just arrogance from Hazer, I think. That's sheer arrogance that he doesn't need it. That he doesn't need contributions there. No offense to Scream again, but Scream's just doing his thing. All right, I've thought about my team a little bit. I don't have the full 5, but I know I've got some strong openers here. Okay, here are some people that I know I want on my trivia team, and it's someone that that you didn't say, which is crazy. Give me Captain Twig. Give me Ben.
Oh no! He was on my team.
Okay,
Twig was on my team. Twig was my number 1 person.
Yeah, Twig is the pick. Okay, I've got big faith in Ben on that one. Give me Chuck. I want Chuck. He's a worldly man. I think Chuck's paying attention to stuff that's going on out there in the world. I want him. I think I want Mike. He's also someone that learns stuff from time to time. So I like that about him. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's 3. I'm slowing down here. Maybe Neil. I think Neil could be good.
I think I picked Neil too. I think we're pretty spot on. I didn't pick Chuckles. Yark was like my wild card.
Yeah, that is a wild card pick for sure. Sam is tempting me. Sam is definitely tempting me here.
He just seems like he's got like the Andenster brain.
Yeah, a little bit. Aurora could be good. Do you think? I think that Ven would be either really good or really bad, but you didn't pick him.
No.
Okay, so no Ven.
Trust me.
You would have the worst. Your team would do the worst, I think.
100%.
In trivia. We should do that, by the way. I'm telling Hinterman to make a trivia.
It would be us and Scarabs tied for stupidest.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. I don't know, bro. How do you think Winter Dogs stack up? I think Aqua would be horrible. Just horrible at this.
You mean the Valhalla Valkyries?
Yeah. The Valks. The new Valks.
Maybe Aqua. Okay. It would have to be someone young. Because they still have, high school, college brain in them. Uh-huh. They still know, a bunch of random things.
Uh-huh.
Once you get out of that, you just start to deteriorate. All of my knowledge, everything I learned in college is
just gone. I know. Tell me about it.
Everything's gone. I don't watch the news anymore. I don't keep up with celebrities. I literally know.
Just can't do it. Oh, AJ in the chat said design team versus esports trivia. We would absolutely stomp. We being design now that I'm on that team, absolutely stomp, 100%. Yeah, Andy said Snoopy would win trivia. That is actually true. Snoopy would be the best pick overall, but he didn't make SPL, and we're only doing SPL teams. But Snoopy would have been my literal number 1 overall pick, and it isn't even close. He would have owned. And Hurry would have been a great pick as well. All right, I'm going Sam. I'm going Sam for my 5th. He's my wild card. He's my
I
wild
think mine
card.
was like Sam, Twig, Yark. I'm trying to figure out who else did I pick? Aurora, Sam, Twig, Aurora, and then I have one more that I can't remember.
You said maybe Neil?
Oh yeah. Sam, Twig, Yark, Aurora, Neil. That's my lineup.
Okay. Alec, are you offended that we didn't take you? He said LMAO in the chat. I feel like Alec would have been a good pick, but Sam, I just feel like he's gonna bring. My team's too uptight, Alec, and you would bring that troll energy, but I need that wild card energy from Sam. You know, like really, just he's gonna be thinking, you know, a little bit outside the box, if you will. That's the way it is. Oh boy, Alex about to unleash on us, man. I can tell.
It was between. Okay, they have fine.
So I'm not gonna say anything. Fair enough.
They have fine PBM and Sam that are all seem like they have their brains. No offense to anyone else.
Dragons would do well for sure. Dragons would do well.
Yeah.
I think they would do very well for sure. All right, that's going to do it for this week's episode. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Make sure you guys are checking out mintmobile.com/back or mintmobile.com/backliners if it's more recent. If that doesn't work, then try mintmobile.com/back. Fine OK says, I was on the Brain Bowl team in high school.
What is
Holy
the
cow,
Brain Bowl?
dude. Holy
What
cow.
is a Brain Bowl?
All right, give me Alec versus my whole team straight up 1v5. He's gonna go off on him, bro. He's a brain bowler. Oh
Okay,
my
but
God.
like a trivia for content would be really funny because there's no way my team would get any questions right.
Yeah, your team
Wait.
would be great, bro. Watching Jake and Haddix like argue back and forth about what the answer is gonna be and have it just be instantly wrong would be great content. What do you mean?
Yeah. Fantastic. As long as you get all the teams' comms when we have to come up with the answer versus Hi-Rez. Wait,
Yeah.
would we versus Hi-Rez or versus other teams?
Probably another team.
Okay. Wait, it needs to be multiple choice. Cause
No, it
my
doesn't.
team, bro, there's no way my team will come up with anything.
We're doing it. And by we, I mean they're doing it because I'm not in charge of that anymore. But I'm making them do it because I gotta watch it. I just have to watch. It would just be too fun, man. Surely all the players would like not having to scrim for a day, and instead all 8 teams come into the studio and just do like literally just exactly bar trivia in the studio. Wouldn't everyone like that? I don't know if you'd be allowed to drink. Probably not.
We're doing bar trivia, but we can't drink?
I don't know. Everyone's over 21, so maybe. Yeah, I had Alec and no scrims.
21?
Yeah.
Wait, Pagon's over 21?
Oh, is Pagon over 20? Oh, maybe Pagon isn't over 21.
I thought Pagon was like 12.
He's in college. Yeah, you can
Like,
all have some sodas, you know? You can all have some nice Coca-Colas or whatever.
goodness, he's 18? That's
like 18.
13 years younger than me.
Bro, that's like almost half his age. You're all like...
End the podcast. End it.
Thanks for watching. mintmobile.com/back or mintmobile.com/backliners. We'll be back next Monday at 8 p.m. Remember, that is the new podcast time moving forward. Mondays at 8. We'll be seeing you then. Until next time, BaRRa, you are far away from your mic because you're laying down, so I bought time for you to come back. You know what to do.
Bye.
Clean.
Too good. Even with a sore throat, I still kill it.
That's just GOAT mentality, bro.
Dude, I